Morning you guys, it's Karen and I'm here to talk about hair loss and the 5 things that work really well for me at stopping that hair loss. So when I say hair loss, I don't mean, I haven't yet got any bald patches, but you can see where it's getting very thin at the sides here. That's where it notices most, especially if I have my hair up, you know. And so I've noticed that. I've noticed it getting thinner overall. And actually when I meet my birth mum in Cambridge once a year now, and she was saying, oh, your hair still looks thick. And I was like, it does look thick, I think, because when on special occasions, like when I'm there for 2 days in Cambridge, I'm putting lots of products on it and, you know, doing everything I can to make it look thick. And I think I actually had it curled then as well. And when I curl my hair, it looks a lot thicker. But I was saying to her, it's definitely thinner because when I put it up, like if I do a half up, if I do my whole hair and put it up in a ponytail, which I used to do every night getting in the bath, I can feel there's not as much hair and I have to twist my elastic band more to get it in the ponytail, if that makes sense. So I know that it's definitely thinning. And then there's also the shedding. So I can sometimes have a top on like this. So I've actually only got one hair here on my top, which is amazing. Normally I could look like at my shoulders, there's one there. But normally there would be lots, you know, lots and lots of hairs all over me. So anyway, that's the hair loss problem I have. And my mum has had hair loss, severe hair loss actually. And she said it started in her 40s and she now is 76, I think. And her hair is extremely thin. Like you can see her scalp through her hair. So it's very thin and sort of receded. So that is, I think they call it male pattern baldness, and it's from hormones. Now, both my mum and I have polycystic ovary syndrome, so that doesn't help things. But for me, I'm pretty sure it's the menopause. You know, that's, I would say 99% of the problem. I know when I say that, a lot of people will leave comments saying that to go on HRT and it will all go away. For me, HRT exacerbated my migraines, but once I've got my migraines under control and I'm postmenopausal, I will be trying menopause again. No, hopefully not. I will be trying HRT again. If I still have all the problems surrounding menopause, I would like to try HRT again, but for now that's not an option for me. So these 5 products together make such a difference for me. So I'm going to start off with a supplement. So it's Biotin, and this is one by Insight. I have purchased this twice, repurchased it twice, so this is my 3rd bottle of it. They're tiny little tablets and you take 1 a day. They're about, I'll put it next to my little fingernail, you can see how the size of them. See it? Tiny little tablets, which is great for me because I struggle to swallow tablets. So I can actually take these with water. When I first started taking these, my hair just felt healthier and it felt sort of thicker. I don't know if that was my imagination, but it felt thicker and it felt healthier. Doing all of these things together always makes such a difference. But I do remember when I started taking these, within like a few weeks, I felt like my hair felt better. And then I stopped taking them for a couple of weeks because I make my pills up in sort of a week's worth of pill boxes, and I do 2 of those at a time. So 2 weeks at a time. And I remember just thinking, I think I must have been in a rush, and I was like, I'm just going to leave the Biotin for a couple of weeks, you know, and just take my actual GP described medication. And I missed the feeling of it. You know, I did notice not taking them, and I did think, no, I need to get back to taking them. My hair doesn't feel as healthy. I think it was probably 4 weeks. I think I did that twice and was like, it was quite nice not taking as many tablets in the morning once I add in all my supplements. But yeah, I definitely missed not taking it, and I do feel a difference. So Biotin has been fantastic, and I'm going to keep on buying this Insight one as long as it works for me. Not expensive either. Okay, the next 2 things are products, and the first one is the Alpacin Caffeine shampoo. I absolutely love this. It says reduces hair loss. I think you can get an intense one. I might have tried that and just gone back to this one, but this one is absolutely fine for me. And I definitely find this works. I think I said to you at the beginning of the video, I can tell how much hair loss I'm having from it being on my tops, but also when I'm using, I've got a tangle teaser that I use, and I can tell how much is coming out when I use that on my wet hair after I've washed it, and then I use it on my dry hair once a day. But also I will comb my hair in the shower when I'm putting conditioner in it, and I can tell how much is coming off then as well. And once I use this, that's when I notice less hair coming out after I've conditioned my hair. There's just less coming out as I wash and condition it. And so I really, really like this, and I do always use this now. I still use my Tresemme Deep Cleansing Shampoo. I would say I probably use this every third shampoo, or if I feel like my hair is shedding a lot, I will step it up and use it, you know, a couple of times in a row, and I do think this really helps. Number 3 is my Olaplex No3. So this is obviously more expensive. The Alpine, I think, is about £7, isn't it? And this one is £23, something like that. But this is really worth it. There are not many really expensive hair care things that I have repurchased. There are a couple of Colour Wow things I use for styling and anti-frizz and that kind of thing. But in terms of shampoo and conditioners and treatments, I've bought a lot of things over the years, and this is one of them that I've repurchased this so many times. I make it a priority to, you know, spend the money on this, that I can't tell you. This is probably bottle number 15, maybe, something like that. I don't know. Like I said, I've been using it for years, and I use this anytime I start to feel that my hair just feels weak. Like if I feel like I noticed it a couple of weeks ago, and it was just, I caught my hair on something, and I felt like loads of hair sort of caught and broke off. And as I was brushing it, I kept thinking, oh yeah, it's just feeling a little bit like the ends are breaking or something. I don't know. Okay, it's hard to describe, but anytime I don't feel like my hair is doing well, including the shedding, I will use this, and I put it on at night. So I wash my hair. It says to just use on damp hair, but I like to wash my hair first so that I'm taking anything away that's going to be a barrier to this getting into the hair. So I wash my hair, towel dry it, and then I put this on it. I use about half bottle of time, I think, maybe a third. Actually, I think this lasts me about 3 times, depending on the length of my hair, I suppose. But I put this on, leave it on overnight, and then I wash it off in the morning and condition as always. And my hair just feels stronger. So that's what I would say about this. It feels like it strengthens my hair, and that's always going to help with, you know, hair loss. So I do love that. Number 4 is this. This is the Current Body Hair LED. Goes on like so. I'm not going to put it on because another way I can tell that when I'm losing hair more is when I use this and hairs are left on these little plastic things that are inside. I'm not sure what these things are. They look like suction cups. But yeah, I can always tell when I take this off how healthy my hair is for how much hair comes off on these things. Or if none comes off, you know, then I'm doing well. But this is something that I use because it's proven to work. I know that this works, and I know that this will help with hair growth, and I know that it will help with the health of my hair. And so it's something I use for that reason, rather than I particularly notice a difference, if that makes any sense. Because I couldn't say that I've used this consistently, nor have I abandoned it completely for any great length of time. So I do still use this, and I do still believe in this. And definitely if my problem never, like if using all of these 5 methods didn't work, I would probably start using this every night, you know, and step it up. But I do definitely believe in that technology for hair loss. Number 5 is kind of a few things wrapped into one. I have got things to show you, but it's basically a couple of things that I have found help. One of the things is to keep your hair clean. And somebody had mentioned to wash your hair less for hair loss, but I haven't found that. I have found if I keep my hair cleaner, not if I keep my hair cleaner, but when it is clean, there's less hair loss in general. And so I, like from brushing my hair, I know that if I brush my hair now, a lot will come out. But if I wash it and dry it, and then when I brush it tomorrow, less would come out. So definitely on clean hair, less hair comes out. So I feel like it's better to have your hair clean. I also think it's better to not use these Velcro rollers, because whenever I use these Velcro rollers, and I love Velcro rollers, especially when I'm feeling lazy, because I would blow dry my hair 80%, and then I would take my box of rollers, sit in front of the TV, put my rollers in with my roller clip, and that would be me. I would just sit and let that do its thing, you know, and it would always give me lovely big bouncy hair. However, whenever I pulled these rollers out, I would always have hairs all over them, and I'd look at them and think, there's so much hair in that sort of box of Velcro rollers now, you know. So I tried to do the trick that I saw, I think it was Melissa 55, her channel is. rolling a bit of bandage around it. It didn't work for me. It was really hard to get the roller out of my hair. So what I've been using is this. This is actually, I kept one to show you. This is a foam roller. I'm going to take that pin out and show you how I use it. So you take that out, and then you can either just use it like this. You just need to sort of make sure you tuck your hair in underneath the rest of the hair, and then you can roll it up like so. Or the other way you can use it if you find that difficult. So even there, there's a hair coming off. That's because my hair's dirty. So another way to do it is take a piece here. I've just cut. Did I show you what I did there? I just put the scissors in and cut. So I've cut a bit into the roller, and then take the hair and put the end into this, and then roll it up like so. That just saves you trying to tuck it in. And then you need a roller clip. This is the roller clips I use, and then you just use the roller clip and hold it on like so. So it does exactly the same thing as the Velcro roller. Well, I suppose that I don't know whether there's something about this heats up and cools down, but I will put these in when my hair is 80% dry, and then pop the roller clips in and wait till it dries. And if sometimes I give it an extra blast with the hairdryer. After I've put all of the rollers in, I'll just blast the hairdryer over them and then let them cool down. And yeah, like I said, that works fine for me, and it's not pulling on my hair, so I would recommend no Velcro rollers. So what did I say? Keep your hair clean. Don't use Velcro rollers. Use these type of rollers. Don't put your hair up. Number 5 is just all of these things rolled into one. Don't put your hair up, even though I've got my hair up here. I know I don't do this as often as I used to, and I try to use as little as possible. So you can see there's just a little slice up there, but I used to sort of have these sides up, but now, I mean, it looks too thin at the sides for me anyway. I don't like it, but also it does pull on my hair. And so when I get in the bath, as well as at night time, although I don't use it all the time, I use a silk cap. Let me go and get my silk cap. So this is my silk cap that I use in the bath, and I use this because I used to put my hair up. I just used to put all of my hair up into a ponytail, and I do occasionally now if I forget or if I'm in a rush. But I thought, you know, doing that every day, pulling it up, and I'd pile it on top of my head so that I could have my bath or shower. I think it's pulling on your hair, you know, and so something like this is really good for your hair, obviously, which is why I sometimes sleep in it. I should sleep in it every night, but I don't know why. I just don't do it all the time. But this is really, really healthy for your hair. I've got another one here that I was going to show you, but this is just if you're in the shower. This is probably a bit better because if you wore this in the shower, I think it would probably get wet. That is everything. I also wanted to mention that it is not, I don't believe the problem is my weight loss injections. Somebody asked, is it your weight loss injections? Because apparently some people have found they've had hair loss. I haven't read that as a common side effect, but it doesn't mean that it's impossible. But for me, I don't believe it's that, because this all started way before I could feel this starting, and I had problems with shedding even before I started my weight loss injections. And I've used now 3 different types of weight loss injections as well. So I definitely don't think it's that. That's everything for today. I hope that you enjoyed that. Please let me know what your tips are for reducing hair loss. I know that a lot of people use and recommend things like rosemary oil, and there is minoxidil that you can buy from the chemist and put it, but it's, to me, that's all quite it's a faff. It's a lot of work, you know. You have to, like, even with the rosemary oil, I don't wash my hair that often, and so when am I going to put that on? And you have to put it on and leave it on, and you shouldn't leave it on too long with it, you know. I don't know, maybe I will get into that. If this ever gets severe, then I probably will try rosemary oil and minoxidil. I have had both of those things to try, but just like I said, they were too much effort, I suppose you would say, whereas these things are all fairly easy to do, you know. They don't take up too much time. So let me tell you what I'm wearing makeup wise. I've got on the Urban Decay Face Bond Foundation. I'm wearing the, it's Urban Decay also on my eyes. It's the Half Baked palette, the little half, it's called Half Baked, and it's a mini palette. And on my lips is the Anastasia Beverly Hills lipstick in Pure Hollywood. That's everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.